Good morning, Woo community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so happy to have you back with us this morning. What's today? It's Tuesday. Thank heavens for Tuesdays. Yes, it's a good day. It's a good day. By the way, I'm Tirza Barnes, and I'm gonna be hanging out with y'all today on day 1533. I cannot believe it. First of all, let me say hi to Adam, who is just always ready, willing, and present. Hey, Adam, how are you? Long time no speak to here. It's so wonderful to have you. Good morning, Helen. I'm so glad you are here with us. Shout out to Facebook folks. If you're in the house with us, good morning to you. We are going to have a dynamic session as we are talking about divorce, baby. Yes, yes, yes. A very juicy, very sensitive topic of discussion, but necessary for all of us because at some point in stage in our lives, we experience transition. We experience divorce in multiple ways, whether it's a relationship or even just life transitions. And so we're going to talk about how the heck do you live again after a divorce? So get ready, roll up your sleeves. You may want to take some notes because I got some good tips for you. So please do get a pad, a paper, your smart device so that you can take some good notes and tips. Adam, thank you so much for the shout out. It's wonderful to have you here with us. Good morning. Good morning. Wake up, everybody, the virtual community. By the way, my name is Tirza Barnes. I am the Rebuild Coach and a leadership development consultant, and I'll tell you more about that as we get started. But excited to be here. Thank you to Chantel and Shawnee for supporting me and holding me down. Let's do it.
Our pleasure. Here we go.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Oh, I so love that song. It brings back memories. And I got to see me like 6 years ago. How about that? Shoot, what's different? Let me tell you what's different. I was able to get up earlier, easier than I can now, right? I was reflecting as I was getting ready for this morning, thinking, boy, when I did this 6 years ago with the Woo community, it was lightweight. Now it's a little bit harder to get up at 4 o'clock and get pretty, okay? But I'm so glad that I'm here with you all. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to the folks who are coming in today and joining us. By the way, my name is Tirza Barnes, a returnee, not new honey, but returning and happy to be back with the Woo community. I am the Rebuild Coach and a leadership development consultant here to speak to you today about divorce, the big D, all right? The big D, gosh, I remember there was a day in my marriage where you dare not say the D word. Okay. Like to say the D word was a sin and a crime. Now it's in my regular vocabulary. Okay. Because I am a person who has experienced divorce or about to be divorced. It's been a 5 year journey for me, and I'm going to tell you all about the tea very soon as we get into this very important topic. But the goal of our conversation today is to really be thinking about how do you overcome something like a divorce, a separation, and a relationship that you put so much investment in, right? And if you're not in a position where you are divorced or separated, maybe there's a transition you have gone through. Maybe there's an experience that you are in right now and you are adjusting. You are trying to find your footing. You are trying to find your way back to you. If so, this conversation is perfect for you. And so we're going to dig into that and have a really great time helping you find you, becoming more of you. Okay, figuring out how to live. I was looking at a show. I'm a girl who likes to sit on the couch and watch TV and find my series. And I was watching a series. I can't remember the name of it, but it was this whole idea where this woman said, "I'm divorcing you." She told her husband that. And then later on in the show, she said, "I'm not going to divorce." And she asked the question, "What am I going to do with divorce? I'm not going to divorce because what am I going to do with it?" And my spirit instantly said, in answer to her question, you live. You live after a divorce. What are you going to do with the divorce? You are going to live. It's just a process of learning how to live again. It is not the end, it is actually the beginning. It is your becoming, your unfolding, you finding yourself in a way that you possibly haven't experienced before. And you know what? It's not a possibly, it's actually a fact that when you get divorced, it's an invitation. When you separate, it's an invitation. When you go through a big life transition, like a divorce or anything else, it's an invitation for you to actually find yourself and reconnect with yourself in the way that you haven't before, because it's just a new season of your life. Okay. So we're going to talk about what happens after an ending and what do you do with that ending. Endings are not meant to end your life. They are designed to start a new beginning, to change how you see yourself, your future, to see your worth and your value, your relationship status, even your job status, your financial status. All of that can be big transitions that can be considered a divorce. They're not meant for you to end. They're actually meant for you to move forward. But we have challenge when we go through these type of transitions because we've been programmed to think that whatever we have in life, like a marriage, it is supposed to be sustained forever, because that's the messaging that we often receive. Like, you're going to be in a marriage and you're supposed to stay in that marriage forever, and to be divorced is completely taboo. I was looking at another show, right? I told you I'm a showgirl, and they were talking about this idea that if you get married, you need to realize that it's almost a 60-year commitment. That's the message. Like, you 60 plus years, like this is forever in your life. But then something like a divorce happens and it shakes you up, and it's exactly the opposite of what we've been trained to believe in society, what we've been trained to think. But the reality is, my friends, that we have different seasons in our lives. There are multiple seasons in our life. As a matter of fact, I probably lived like 7 damn seasons of my life. And what do we mean by seasons? One season looks drastically different than another one. I think about when I was giving birth to children and raising babies, and they're running around the house, and there's marriage, and there's all this whole life that's consumed around babies and a marriage. That was a season of my life. Now I'm in a completely different season with a preteen and a teenager who's trying to run my life, who is busy with their lives and I'm managing their lives, and I am not married anymore. Completely drastic change, completely different season. So, what we have to do as we think about divorce, transition, separation, is to really embrace that different seasons come, to sit with that, to be at peace with that. We're not meant to remain in one season forever. Divorce is a season that often comes with a lot of resistance. But imagine if you let go of that resistance Imagine if you let go and disrupt the stories that came with how you're supposed to be as a partner in terms of relationship and the longevity. We have to let go of that supposed to. That is a myth that we've been taught. And what we want to do is shift this idea of what went wrong to what can I create next? What opportunities are available for me now? What can I do with my life now? So today's invitation is for you to be thinking about who are you now? Who are you becoming? And what do you want to feel like in the future? It's beautiful that we're entering into 2027, right? Am I right about that? Or 2026? Did I just jump? I totally forgot the year, right? We're about to go into a whole new year. What do you want your life to feel like? What do you want to experience from here on? You get to choose that. Again, whether it's relating to an official divorce, maybe a separation, maybe the ending of a relationship, or maybe a difficult transition that you're trying to navigate. You get to create the life that you love. You don't have to be stuck. And what I'm going to do is offer you some tips for how you can get unstuck and really rebuild your life in a way that makes you feel proud, where you can be an example for other people. So who am I to be able to speak this way and to talk in this perspective, right? I've hinted to this idea about my own journey, but it's important that I share with you what I have gone through briefly before I offer you some tips. I am a testament and a testimony of what I am sharing with you today. Yes, it is hard to go through a divorce. I went through one. I made a decision to move on from a 14-year relationship and marriage about 6 years ago. About 6 years ago, I made that decision. It wasn't an easy decision. I have seen the impact on my children. It has thoroughly impacted me. It has thoroughly impacted my children's father. It has played a huge part in terms of transition in my life. However, I'm not here to talk about the ugly and the dark. Not today. Okay. I'll come back and I'll tell you more tea. But what I'm hanging on to today, what I am messaging to you today is that I had an invitation to recreate my life and start a new relationship with myself, even after a divorce, to really learn and understand myself and make a commitment to myself. And so today I stand here in front of you with the Woo community, sharing that I am joyful, at peace, free, accepting. I live a life of flow. I know how to manifest. I have a beautiful home. I drive a nice car. I'm raising my babies. I am healthy. By the way, I am a breast cancer survivor who went through that after deciding that I'm going to leave. I am an entrepreneur. I have established a life that I always wanted, but didn't know it would come by way of a divorce. It was an invitation for me to find myself. Now, I mentioned the peace, I mentioned the happiness, I mentioned the joy, I mentioned the material because I like nice stuff. Okay. And there was a messaging and a concern when I got divorced and when I decided to leave the relationship. Will I be able to sustain and take care of myself? So when I sit here and talk to you about these nice things that I have, I am so proud that I did that on my own because the messaging was I needed somebody else to have that, but I didn't. I said I created a life that I love, a life in flow. And I had to be intentional about that. I had to do some work so that I could rebuild and come back up. Do the grief, do the hard work, do the crying, do the therapy, do all the stuff that will get me back to where I am today. And it's not even a coming back. It's finding a new. It's a new me. It's a new version of me. It's rebuilding in a fresh way. Think about if you rebuild a home, you knock down the old and you create something that's more modern, more sleek. You think about an old home and you think about the rebuilding of a new project. It's something that's fresh, that meets your standard of who you are, where you are. It's the more of you. And that's what I'm inviting you to do today. So before we get into tips, I would love to hear from some folks just in terms of how you're feeling and what you're thinking. Chantel, is anybody ready just to share anything in terms of what they're feeling based on what they heard so far?
Let's see. All right. So, oh, oh, that's Kate Sweetness said, learn from it and appreciate it. After an it's jumping. After an ending, there are new beginnings. I wrote a piece connecting these two events. And she also said, it's a new season, it's a new day. We have access to a fresh anointing, for it is coming our way.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
want to bring, yeah, I want to bring Tiffany into this conversation too. And she said, I spent 20 years in one relationship and almost 13 in another. I'm finally ready to meet and to get to know me. Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Tiff,
So, Tiffany, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna bring her up too. I was asking if she wanted to
Yeah,
share
I
more.
would love to hear from Tiffany.
Look, good morning, y'all. Look, I'm coming into the space totally. Here we go. As I prepare to leave for my doctor's appointment, yes. I I have for the last year and a half been telling my husband that our marriage is not working for either of us for different reasons, and literally left him December 19th, 20th. So I'm a week, 10 days into this. I'm so new into my divorce phase. My umbilical cord is still on me. So Shan, the cord cutting ceremony last night, girl.
Yes. I'm just gonna say that timely.
And, and that was exactly what the analogy was last night in the ceremony about cutting cords and related to that. So I have all of the feelings, but one of the things I want to say is yes, while I am processing the grief associated with the ending of this relationship, this particular form of this relationship and the marriage, I stay focused on like all of the opportunity that I have to get to know me. I met my children's father when I was 17 years old. Spent 20 years with him, and then a year later was in this other relationship. I am 50 years old and I am finally getting to know who Tiffany is. And it is so crazy, like just getting up and not having to tell nobody where I'm going, where I'm going to be, how long I'm going to be there, who I'm going to be there with, unless I want like the children to know, just for safety reasons, because we live in New York City. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to the doctor, I'll be back later, or I'm going to run errands, I'll be back later. And my phone not being blown up over not just concern, mass concern of like, oh, well, how long are you gonna be there or whatever, but just the freedom to be like, oh, I don't have to answer to anyone or explain anything to anyone if I don't want to. And in the infamous words of, Tabitha Brown, because that's my business. So yes, I had to hop on here. I saw what the topic was going to be about yesterday when I was admin. I was like, I gotta come in, I gotta listen to this, but I gotta leave for the doctor, so I'm gonna have to finish catching the rest of the playback. I love y'all.
Thank you for sharing, Tiffany. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Finding herself. That's beautiful. That's what we're talking about. And there's so many layers to it, right? So that's just one layer. Like, okay, I don't have to answer to anyone. That's one step, right? But there's so many other layers to it. Um, there's an opportunity to purge because when you have a separation, transition, divorce, there's a purging that needs to take place. There's a realization of what occurred. You need to go through that so that you can get to the point where you can celebrate and be free and enjoy life the way I'm currently enjoying it. And at the same time, allow yourself to be emotional when emotion comes, right? Even after you get through that healing stage, things will come up. For me, the holiday, we had as a family beautiful holidays. We hosted in our house and the kids, a lot of memories associated with the family structure. It's not that I'm missing or grieving what I call my children's father now, my ex, but the experiences we created. And you know what? Even in this stage of my life, I'm allowing myself to have those moments. I'm allowing myself to be like, it's okay. Those were joyful times. And it doesn't have to be regret. You don't have to hold anger. And we're going to talk about that as we get into the tips, which I think we should do now. Let's talk a little bit about what do we do with this? So we set things in context in terms of the reality that we can rebuild our lives, that we can restructure how things are, that we can find joy even after a very difficult time. But how do you do that, right? How do you do that? Where do you begin? So I want to talk a little bit about three things: acceptance, freedom, and pleasure. So when we talk about a divorce, separation, or a life transition that can be very hard to move through and invite you to rebuild your life around, the first thing you have to do is accept. Acceptance stops the fight with reality so you can move forward. And I'm going to tell you more about that shortly. The second thing is freedom. You want freedom. When you have freedom, it releases you from everybody else's opinion and you stop giving a F what everybody else thinks so you can be free to honor yourself. And the third thing is pleasure. Pleasure restores your joy. We're talking about feeling good and feeling alive again. That's what I described to you when I talked about where my life is. I feel alive. I feel like I'm living. I don't feel broken. I don't feel stuck. It is Divorce is not the end. It was only the beginning of a new life for me. So let's get into specifically those three tips. And I'm going to share number one. So I talked about acceptance, but here's the deal. You have to choose acceptance over resistance. Tip number one, choose acceptance over resistance. You see, when we have a shift in our lives, like a divorce, we get stuck in this, it shouldn't be happening to me, or I cannot believe this is happening to me. We hold anger towards maybe our former partner. And that is something that drains our energy and it blocks us and prevents us from healing emotionally, being in tune with ourselves, and being able to move on. Who you're in fight with is not the other person. You're in fight with yourself. So we have to choose acceptance. This is it. I accept my now. This is what has occurred. It may have been or may not be what I want, but it is my now. And you choose to live in your now so that you can be present with yourself emotionally and be able to begin your rebuilding journey. Remember, whenever you're in resistance around anything, that is just you fighting with yourself. You are at war with yourself, and a war with yourself is absolutely draining. And it keeps you stuck, and it prevents you from rebuilding a life that will be very promising to you. So you have to loosen up. You have to shake off the resistance and be accepting of what is. So I have a couple of questions for you around this. Choosing acceptance over resistance. What part of your life right now are you arguing with? What haven't you let go of yet? What are you fighting with right now? Something you want to process and really think about and be honest about as you go through this healing journey, as you go through this rebuilding journey. You might also want to ask yourself, what am I afraid acceptance will mean about me? That's a powerful question because accepting doesn't mean you are accepting the behavior. It doesn't mean you're accepting that, the idea of divorce, it's wrong. No, maybe you don't want to be divorced. Maybe that's something that is not necessarily your choice, but it's something that you have now been presented with. And it doesn't mean that you are bad. It doesn't mean that you're at fault. It doesn't mean that you're guilty. Whatever stories you're creating, you have to get up, you have to get at those stories. So by answering that question, what am I afraid acceptance will mean about me? You have to look at that because ultimately that's a story that you're creating. And a lot of times we are story making machines, and a lot of stories are not real, they're false. So when you move out of this place of resistance, you make the space for freedom. And you can make space to choose the next step and begin your rebuilding process. So, Chantel, does anybody want to talk a little bit about the two questions? Maybe they are reflecting on those questions around what they're arguing with, what they're fighting with right now, or what they are afraid acceptance might mean about them.
Let me jump in, sis. I want to share something for myself and then also support with what you just said. So, folks, drop in your responses. There were a couple of questions. You said, what part of your life are you fighting with right now? And then also the acceptance piece. Um, so, um, as we shared when we were pre-briefing, and you said it in this space that there are a number of things that we can divorce or release or transitions. And over the course of my life, I've had multiple transitions, but I remember when I was breaking up with, for lack of a better term, my business partner. And oh my God, I was fighting with everything I had to keep that relationship
Mm,
together. I was in denial. I was in fear. The biggest fear, Tirza, was that I wasn't going to be able to handle leading the business without her.
yeah.
And I made up that it didn't work unless we were partnering. And what I wasn't paying attention to is the latter part, the last 2 years of our partnership, I was doing a lot of the building and taking care of things with the people, places, and things that the business was involved with. And so I couldn't even see clearly what I was doing. I made up that I couldn't, and that dominated the conversation, even though it wasn't true. And we actually had like couples counseling, like a married couple, because a business is like a marriage. And I remember when I finally accepted it and how liberating it was and was able to carry on. But child, that year plus that I was tussling, my appetite, my sleep, just my thoughts were flooded. And acceptance, being able to accept when I wasn't doing it, it impacted every other part of my life and
Mm,
my joy and my presence in my life and other relationships that I had because it was dominating in those spaces. So I just wanted to share that as one of the many examples of my transition. I've literally been divorced, but I was so young and it was so necessary. But what I'm talking about is the other types of transitions in this space and what I can do for myself when I just accept reality for what it is. It's like they don't want to be here no more. And they've been showing you. So why are you fighting to keep this in place?
yes. Yes. Shawnee, thank you so much for that. Beautiful sharing. I appreciate that. And I love the diversity in examples because I realize everybody may not be in a space where they're experiencing divorce or separation, but I definitely want you to see it as universally in terms of yes, it could be something like a business partnership. It could be the leaving a job, a loss of a job, whatever it might be. It could be with your children. These tips are very relevant for any life transition. So thank you for that.
Yes. And Helen shared starting but not finishing. And then Kaisha said, acceptance means healing to me.
Yes.
Sweetness responded to Jamelia and said Grand Rising or welcomed her into the space. So Jamelia, yes, welcome. I saw you came in earlier. And Mama Latifah says, Sis Kaisha, why is it you're tired of talking about it? What are you fighting? What emotions come up when you talk about your separation, sis? And then Kaisha is willing to share verbally.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So, there was one question before we go there. I just want to, the first comment that you read, Shawnee. She made a statement. It really wasn't a question.
Yeah, hold on. You remember who it was?
I'm curious to know what she meant by that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. And it wasn't Kaisha, it was someone else.
Yes, but if it's too much to go back, because I see there's a lot in the chat, don't worry. We could jump into
Oh, she made a statement, Helen, starting but not finishing.
right. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? What are you saying, Helen?
Helen, are you there?
Okay.
All right, we may need to come back. I offered an opportunity to unmute. She might be.
I,
Oh, there
I,
she is.
yeah, I
Okay.
was having a little challenge with
Yeah.
the unmuting. Um, I'm just a little frustrated with myself that I'm always starting something and excited about starting it, and then something always interferes or distracts me, and then I don't complete what I have started. So it has nothing to do. I will begin by saying I have never been married. I have never been divorced. So my comment is not in relations to that, but I was just answering what the question was asked of me. Thank you. I'm complete.
All right, thank you. What I'm curious to know is, and you don't have to answer, but there was something that we said that made you say that, though. There was something that triggered that. And so it is worth you thinking about those questions that were posed to you. And maybe you rephrase those questions, when we talk about what were the two questions? What part of this ending am I still arguing with? What arguments or resistance are you putting up around what it is that you're starting? What stories are you telling yourself, right? What are you afraid of around
Mm.
continuing or finishing something? So even though you're not talking about divorce or separation, you can still reflect on those questions, Helen. It's worth you doing some work around that, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Kaisha, what's up, Kaisha? How are you?
Good morning, Tirza. Good morning. Wait, let me get my glasses. Okay. So, I came on, because of Sister Latifa had asked me those questions, but my first response, I wanted to just share, like you said, share. Tears, I've been in this journey with you since the beginning of the womb. And the separation started in January, woo started in March and of 2020. And then my divorce was final by 2021. I've done every workshop you offered because I was ready. I needed to get past it. I needed to get through the journey. I've done every workshop that Mika offered because it was about me, like you said, finding myself again. Um, and someone said releasing those pronouns, releasing to that togetherness. And like you said, you found just I did too. Everything that you mentioned, I experienced career changes due to my financial situation having to change. Like I thought in the future, like, oh no, what if I got to take care of myself now? I don't have that extra income. I got to make sure that I'm secure. Just like everything that you said about how you came out of your journey, I went through it, a whole interstate move. You know, I did I did that. I did that because of the workshops, the work that I did. I
Yes.
did therapy, I did church, and I did the workshops. And I read the books, and and I came out to me on the acceptance side, on the healing side. So the questions that Sister Latifa asked was, because I had made a comment that there's a story that I'm telling. I'm tired of talking about it. Every time I meet someone new, like you said, people hold on to that divorce story, and I meet someone new, people want to talk about how and the whys. And I'm back in the community where my ex-husband and I used to live together. So a lot of people know him here and they want to know the story. And I'm just tired of talking about it. I recently just told the story from beginning to end. And I guess it's interesting. I'm just tired of living it again, going through it again. I came I came out of it. And so the story is The reasons, I don't even know the reason why, but I had to handle it. I had to take care of it. It's always a reminder of that hard journey where I had to make hard decisions for myself and for my daughter. Um, and I even recently said I cannot wait till my daughter graduates and I won't have to deal with him. I won't have to worry about him. He and I won't have any financial ties together. I just recently said that because I am so tired of this ending part. She graduates in May, and I'm just really just ready to release this part of him and I.
Yeah.
Once she, and I know a lot of people try to tell me, oh, well, she could communicate with him. I still got to pay for her ticket to go see him. I don't want to worry about anything. I still got to worry about, did you call your dad? Make sure you stay connected to your dad. You know, you know. And what happened? It was Christmas. Both of my girls are together, and they are with him, and they didn't call me for Christmas. Oh, I was in my feelings about it. You know.
Yeah. And all of that is so real. And Aisha, thank you so much for sharing. And I'm
Yes.
with you. I am in my ex is not an easy person to co-parent with. It's been very difficult. And these tips that I'm giving are so real because they have been my practice in co-parenting with a very difficult person, like an extremely difficult person who highly dislikes me. Okay, highly dislikes me. And so here's what I want to say, Kaisha, to offer you. I want to offer you some more information or some tips beyond the 3 tips because I still feel the resistance. You're speaking your truth, and I get it. I know because I have those moments. But the next level for you, the growth, is that you don't even react anymore to all of the things that you just said. There is a next level. There is more for you. Because if you don't learn how to not react right now, even when you relocate or your daughter's older or you don't have to do this, there will still be something that will give you reason to react to that person. So I want to offer you the space to process those questions that I gave about what are you still fighting with because you get to set yourself free on a deeper level. You're still rebuilding. We will continue to rebuild in this situation called divorce, right? But being that I'm able to see you and be your mirror and hear from you, I want you to go to the next level where that dude don't shake you up at all anymore. At least much less. That is possible. Where when you see something or you see a text, you just laugh and be like, he's so predictable. Or she, whoever, right? Whoever's in your life, I'm talking to everybody right now. Every time you react or get triggered, that means there's still room for you to continue your rebuilding. So I want to leave you with that, sis. I hope you take that and process it. Before I go to the next tip, did anybody else want to jump in and share something?
All right, let's see what's happening. Raise your digital hand if you want to share a comment. And also encouraging the community to think about and share about yourself. I know it's easy for us to coach one another, and it also is an opportunity for us to grow if we share about our own journeys. That's how we elevate and ascend in this space. All right. Let's see.
And if we want to give people a little bit more time, Shawnee, I'm fine with that. I could jump into tip number 2. That may open a window up.
Yvette actually put her hands up. I was just looking at her comment when going to ask, and she beat me to it. So, all right, Yvette, go ahead.
Hey, Grand Rising family. I am, yeah, 4 years into a divorce that I thought every 3 months it seems like we're going to sign the papers and then we're not signing the papers. This dude, wow. So I will say this. I love him. I don't like him. He's the father of my children and he's very challenging. And the love is because we grew up together technically. I've known him since I was a teenager. But the behaviors of all of this as we've gone through is like really, really just blown my mind. At present, my daughter and I are my daughter's here from college, and she came in. We had a challenge, and I asked for space. I thought he would support me because throughout our entire relationship, prior to him leaving, he was always like, "Your mom is this. I got her. You know, you can't disrespect her." And right now, that is not what's going on. And yeah, yesterday I had to deal with my daughter and basically deal with boundaries. And I thought in speaking with him that I would be supported, and I was so wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and that part is really hard because I do very little communicating for the reason of the nonsense and the nastiness and the I can't rely on. And so yesterday just was confirmation that I just definitely gotta like not continue to not be there in that space or think about it. The hardest part I think in the beginning was accepting that word, accepting that this is what it is, and that doesn't make me a bad person. I could even say it doesn't make him a bad person. We're not supposed to be together. It is what it is. But right now, I need to accept where we are, and where we are is we not together. And it did affect the kids. It has affected the kids. I mean, I've shared on here. My daughter has had so many challenges behind it,
Yeah.
and I am now really working on boundaries because I learned or didn't learn them very well when I was growing up, and I taught my people in my immediate circle, my kids and their father, that my boundaries were poor and that they could walk all over them. And so now it's me putting up boundaries, nobody likes it apparently, you know. So
Yeah, rebuilding people may resist your rebuilding. That is the journey. That is part of it. You are rebuilding. Setting boundaries is you rebuilding and recreating the life that serves you. Okay? And so, we go through things because there's more for us. There is more of you. There's more to unfold. And so here is the transition in the world, that fork in the road where you get to make a choice where you say, I'm going to stop fighting this and accept it, which I hear you saying, this is where we are now, which, by the way, listening to you say it is very powerful. I felt you, sis. I felt you, right? I want you to mean it, feel it the way I felt you, and live in it and own it. And as we go through this next step, you can't be concerned about what other people think. But here's what I want to give everyone. This is just something that you may want to write down, a nice little saying that reminds you that you're choosing you and that you're okay where you are now. You are moving from resistance and accepting. This is where I am, and I can still choose my next step. You can still choose you and your next step, even where you are right now. It may not be where you want to be. It may not feel comfortable, but you can choose your next step. So write this down. This is where I am, and I can still choose my next step.
Sure.
Okay.
Um, Let me say this really quickly. Stacy is on Facebook, and I believe this is her share. You can live now, Kaisha, while breathing and skipping through the woods. Wherever you react or get triggered, that means there's still room for rebuilding. Tirza, breathing with you all.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Is that my girl, Stacy? Stacy?
Absolutely.
Keisha? Hey, hey, boo. All right. Let me jump into number two. Tip number two, choose freedom over shame. Now, see, divorce is taboo. And what comes with divorce, separation, or even some big life transition is all the socialization and programming about how it's supposed to be and should be. But my friends, shame is something you got to let go of. It makes you hide, it isolates you become isolated, you abandon yourself. Shame, guilt, blame, all those negative and that negative energy, we got to let that go so we can rise to the occasion and experience true freedom where you can be in your truth, where you can love yourself, support yourself, and move forward confidently. There's a lot of shame associated with this experience that we're talking about. And that's just the world dictating how things should be. But we want to not care about what people think. We want to reframe shame. We want to understand that even though we're going through this experience, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. I came up in the church. So I had to move through all the ideas about what it meant to be a Christian and get a divorce in order for me to choose myself, in order for me to feel safe. All the messaging around you're abandoning your family, your little babies. I had to move through all of that because there was a heavy load of shame connected to that for me. But I said, I'm going to change my story. I need freedom. So I have to let go of this shame. I have to let go of the blame. I have to let go of the guilt so that I can find myself and know my worth. So it's very important that you let it go. Whatever is hindering you, let it go. And it's attached to the resistance, by the way. Okay. So I'm curious, is there anybody in the space who is experiencing that now? If you are, it's important that you remember that you're only telling yourself a story. And so, one of the questions I want you to reflect on is what story are you telling yourself about what the ending means? What does it say about you? Again, storytelling. We have to be so conscious of the stories that we create about any decision that we make or any situation that we're going through, especially when it comes to divorce. So, what story are you telling yourself about this ending? What are you saying it means about you? Whose voice are you hearing? Are you being persuaded by family, culture, community? Is it your own messaging? These are things that you have to navigate through so that you can release the shame, release the blame, release the guilt, release that heavy load so you can be in a place of freedom, of lightness, of love, of connection with yourself. Anybody want to talk about this piece? Any questions or thoughts about shame, blame, guilt?
We have Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Grand Rising family. And I don't want to try to Tanisa. I don't want to tear your name up.
Tirza. I
Yeah.
appreciate you though. It's all good. What's up?
Okay. Also, I'm bad at being on topic, but I can give you a little bit about. I'm so glad to be here for one, and I'm glad to invite. One of the for me, I'm a 34-year divorcer, and that was I had struggled for a long time. And my biggest problem for me right now, and it's been like, I think, uh, 2 years from where I'm at in North Carolina, you have to be separated a whole year before you make a choice. I mean, before they let you divorce. So it's still new to me. And I do choose me. This is what was told to me a while back. Who do you want to be happy, you or her? And I chose myself. And it's working. It is, but it's not easy. And the not easy part for me right now is the fact that um, I was with somebody 34 years, and I was some good and bad times. I chose to leave, and now I'm by myself. And
Yeah.
so, and I ain't never been by myself. Never. Even when I was young at school, I, I always had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Always. And so now, here at 71, I'm trying to um, fill that void. And sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not, to be truthful. And it's uncomfortable. And I'm working on trying to learn me as best I can, but I have to be honest, um, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you got information on that part, I love that to hear that. But I'm not fighting it. It's just that's the truth.
Yes.
'Cause I'm
Yes.
I know that I'm trying to fill a void, but I'm working on because I have to stay still. Uh-oh, do I like me? I think I do, but but sometimes maybe so maybe I don't because I don't know me. I don't know me not being by myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm complete. I'm complete.
Wow. That was a beautiful share. Thank you for that truth because that is actually the first stage of the rebuilding. You are in the early stages. How long have you been divorced, you said?
It's been 2 years.
2 years. Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. You're right on track, brother. So what you're going to do is sit in that uncomfortable and discover the new you, right? We see part of the programming is you have to have a partner, you need to be with someone, you shouldn't be single. And so you played that out very well, right? And you got married, you always were in a relationship. But now you have to sit in a room by yourself and face yourself. That is the only way you start to rebuild. So embrace the discomfort. Love yourself through the discomfort. Practice radical acceptance and stop resisting. But also let go of any programs or stories you're telling yourself about being by yourself. If we had more time, I would dig into that. What stories you're creating? What you saying about yourself? You're saying you don't like yourself? You don't know if you like yourself? I need somebody to take my mind off of me, right? No, you're exactly where you need to be. Sit with it and be at peace with the process. Radical acceptance. But the goal is that you don't beat yourself up. You don't abuse yourself. Don't be a victim to yourself, right? Love on yourself, which is a perfect next step. The third step that I'm going to talk about, I just want to share it with you so that you know, because it's so important for you. Choose pleasure over proving. And we'll talk about it very shortly, but that is a key piece. You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. You're just focused on finding your joy, finding your happiness, giving yourself permission to live. Find your and identify with yourself, your softness, your joy. What gets you excited? What's blissful for you? You need to learn how to be in relationship with yourself. You're rebuilding relationship with self. So the type of love that you would give a woman, I want you to give to yourself. Take yourself out on dates. Buy yourself something nice. Watch a movie. Go to the movies by yourself. Enjoy yourself because that's ultimately what this is about. And then what will happen is the universe will bring you a partner in the right time. But first, you got to get right with you. All right, I see a couple of hands up. Does anybody, Chantel or Shawnee, you want to
Yeah,
select?
there's actually a hand up. Rashida has her hand up to share. And just giving you a quick time check, it's
Yeah.
7:54 because I know we're going to start talking to Rashida. I'm not sure where we'll
Yeah,
land.
let me just
Yeah.
say, I know that some people may log off. I certainly hope you don't. I want you to hang out. We got a few more minutes before we wrap up this conversation. I want to dig into that final tip. Choose pleasure over proving. But if you do have to go, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for hanging out with me. I trust that you are walking away with something. Take what is relevant for you, even if you're not separated, even if you're not in a divorce. There's a lot of information that we're giving, a lot of discussion that can be relevant for your life as you enter into the new year. And I invite you to stay in touch with me. Follow me on all the social media sites. They're going to put the link up. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Let's connect. Let's talk. And I'll be back in February. We're going to keep having these type of conversations. I got more tips for you. So I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for being with me. But please don't go. I got more for you. Stay with me.
I know that's right. All right, Rashida, you are up, beloved. So unmute. There you go.
Grand Rising, my sister Barnett. I just got on, but I would tell you what I got for the few minutes that I'm on. I could not, like what I said, Shani, thank you so much for sending me the link. I am so happy that I'm here. I know that I'm listening to you, Sister Barnett. I know I'm not selfish. And even if I think I'm selfish, I just want to keep being selfish.
Yep.
And one of the reasons I say that is because in 12 years ago, when I picked myself up and moved away from New York into Pennsylvania, from Brooklyn to Pennsylvania, my sister Emma and my family and my kids are, Mommy, why are you going so far? And why are you doing this? And are you going to be all by yourself in a 7-bedroom home? Listen. I'm looking for a peace of mind that you all is not giving me. So we have to be mindful that when we move for self, not for anybody else, but for self.
Yes.
And when we start to fall in love, don't fall in love with anybody but yourself.
Yes.
So when I get on this call and I hear you, I say, oh my God, oh my goodness, oh universe, you just give me the final answer.
Amen.
Because then what we need to do is be selfish and selfish to love. Like what I would tell people, I love me, myself, and I. I
Yes.
don't want to love anybody else but me, myself, and I. So, sister, keep spreading the news and see if everybody would get it.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
with that, I'm out, but I'm still here.
Yeah, thank you, sister. I love that. I love that. It's so funny because one of the programs that we learn in life is that selfish is selfish. Like to be selfish and to choose yourself is wrong. And actually, it's not wrong. It's right because the more you choose yourself, the better you are for other people, right? If you're not happy, how can people around you be happy? How can you create this life that you love? So I love that you brought that up. And I hear you, girl. I would leave too if listen, I tell my children in my house, peace is non-negotiable.
Ashe.
Anything that interrupts my peace is a problem. It's a problem. Okay? And so even when I chose to leave my marriage, I didn't even understand the power of the peace that I have now. I didn't know it. I was a peaceful person. I've always been a joyful person, positive person. And, but I'm at another level of peace. I'm at another level of peace now, right? I would have never experienced that if I didn't choose me. If I didn't say, I got to go, this ain't working. This is not going to work. And it took courage to do that. And trust when I thought myself, I was shameful. I blamed myself. I felt guilty. I had all of that go through my mind, but I still chose me. And I'm so glad because I got over the mountaintop and I'm experiencing something different. All right. All right. I'm going to jump in just because time is of the essence. Let's get into this choosing pleasure over proving. All right. So, what is the proving? It is the acting like everything is okay and you're so busy living your life and you're acting unbothered and you're being successful and you're super busy and productive and all you're doing is performing. It's not real. It's not real. It's not authentic, but you're acting as if it is, but you're really dying inside. And you are not in touch with your presence, with your joy, with your peace, with your power. So here's what I want you to do if you feel like you're in this space. I want you to answer these questions. Where am I trying to prove I'm fine instead of actually rebuilding and healing? Where are you trying to prove that you're fine? What makes you feel more like yourself? Because we got to get to that space, right? We're focused on pleasure, the joy, the happiness, the peace. Your peace should be non-negotiable. So, what will it take for you to get to that place? So, just like I shared with the brother, I told him, go and live your life and start experiencing you, date you, enjoy you, be in peace with yourself. Find pleasure and stop proving and do it with this understanding that you don't need permission from anybody. Just live your life. Live your life without guilt, without the shame, without the resistance, without the blame. So, this week, what can you do to be in touch with yourself? What can you do to find peace, to find joy, to find pleasure? That is so critical as you get to a place of rebuilding, especially after a separation or divorce. Rest, beauty, music, the movies, laughter, a nice bath, dancing, whatever it takes. Do what brings you pleasure and stop acting like you are okay if you're not okay. Stop trying to prove that you're okay. Slow down and be present with yourself. Love yourself. Be in joy with yourself. Okay. So, any final questions, thoughts? You got your 3 tips. We talked a lot about this conversation around rebuilding after divorce and learning how to live again. We talked about this idea of accepting, right? We're accepting our situation. We're living in the now. We're not resistant towards it. We're talking about finding our pleasure and being happy and being free. You are worthy of it, my friend. I experienced it. I love it. I'm joyful. I wake up every morning in a stillness, in a peace that's worth it. And the reality is, I'm not sure I could have had that prior to me making a decision about divorce. But I said, I'm going to make a decision and rebuild my life. And here I am today. And if you were in a similar situation, you could do the same thing. It's not too late. It starts right here today. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, let me let you know that you have 28 more minutes.
Okay.
So you have time. So maybe it's conversation. But I was like, ooh, she wrap it up. But I know there's loads to
I can
share.
get these 90 minutes, but
Yes.
I'm happy to do some coaching. Any comments
Yes.
or questions? Let's jump in on it.
Awesome. So Yogisha Stacy is in the space. Welcome, welcome, Yogisha. And she said, y'all in here cutting up my sis name. Tirza is pronounced
Ah!
Tirza. Or people like Tanette and Tanette, like Barnes, Barnes like Barnes, not Burness or Burnett.
Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. I ain't got time to be correcting people right now. I love y'all no matter what.
Names have energy and power, sis. So I'm with Stacy.
Yes, yes.
So what are you telling yourself about this ending? Stacy sharing, what do I mean? It's saying about me. I'm pondering this still. I'm telling myself that my ending is still being created. So Stacy, you mentioned co-parenting and you had that question when you were on Facebook. This is it. I would love to hear you share about your journey. And once again, encouraging the community. I love how we support one another. And this is an opportunity for you to receive coaching for yourself because we tend to go over there where other folks are instead of navigating, because there's always beginnings and endings, like divorces and then marriages metaphorically are happening all the time. So Yogisha, you open to unmute and share?
Hello, let me take a
It is.
breath. Ah, how y'all doing this morning? I'm in the dark, but let me come on camera so I see my beautiful sister.
Hey, babe.
How y'all doing?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank God. Yes. Okay, so it's good to see you. Um, the what I put in the chat that I said I'm still pondering because like the question was there and I was answering all the questions on Facebook for that one. I just was like, oh, wait a second, let me actually, take that question on for myself because it is 2025. I have been happily divorced for 10 years. Oh, okay. So it's going on 2026. Um, and interestingly enough, while I just said I have been happily divorced, there was even a resistance in me saying happily divorced. It that quick in a second. It was a little poke on the shoulder that was like, "Oh, was it all happy? Was it like a?" So I even just laugh at myself now for that. So interesting. Interesting. So what came up for me just now is like, was I happily divorced? Was I happy? Maybe thinking of those 10 years and no, no, not happy. However, I can say with joy because no one I don't let people steal my joy or things steal my joy. So I do still have joy. However, I can still uh not be happy in the space of having joy. But when we actually signed our divorce papers,
it was a happily divorced. Like we were sharing food that day, we went in giggling and laughing and going to the notary public. And, they were like, y'all sure y'all want to get divorced? And we both stopped laughing and looked at each other and was like, yes. And it's interesting because I think I had a dream of him this morning. Normally, when I wake up and I have dreams, I stop so I can revel in it and I can actually like write them down and let them marinate. But I feel his energy, so I probably had a dream about my was-been, which is what I call him, a was-been, because it gives a different frequency for me. Um, and it puts me in a space. Everything is energy. So it puts me in a space of, oh yeah, that's my husband. Like I don't have to say my ex-husband or make, because that doesn't give me I do what works for me. Everybody do what works for them. So yeah, he's my husband. And sometimes I have resistance to that because I'm like, husband should feel happier, like more cheery, like way I'm creating. And I get that I'm the one who created. So yeah. So I said all of that, and there was the question, which was, what is the I said the ending is still happening. And what I meant like by the ending is still happening is because I sat down the other day, like I did some energy clearing work, and I was like, wow, I haven't spoken to him since I think March. And my son is 21. My son just turned 21. And I was like, wow, is this it? Like, God, this can't be it. Like, cause I'm committed to having a a nice co-parenting relationship where, like we're smiling, we're smiling and we're on vacation together. So I just had this vision the other day. So I said, so what I'm gonna do is where I'm resistant, because whatever I resist persists, let me bring it into the space of what I desire. So I'm going to sit here and I see us smiling. I see me, him, and my son on vacation and smiling. And I am going to bring that energy into the space, and I'm going to fake it till I make it, faith it till I make it, with that part. Not saying that I'm just like, hey, this is all that could be in the space, but that is something that I desire after these 10 years and ups and downs inside of the relationship. But the second part of that question that you had, I cut and pasted it in the daggone chat. Let me just look and see what that part was. Um, what are you telling yourself about this? And then no, I said it's still evolving or it's still being created. What do I mean it's saying about me? What I meant that it said about me was that I'm still not even a good divorcee. Like it's supposed to be better than this. It's supposed to be more joyous. So in the past, those are things that I made it mean about me. Like this is it. Like I want it to be a different way. So yeah, and sometimes that still pops up.
Yeah, yeah. You want it to be different. Yeah. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you sharing.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So you talked about happily divorced, and I was like, that is that's a powerful thing to say, happily divorced, because that's exactly what we're talking about, right? It's like we're talking about rebuilding and living again after divorce. And if we rebuild and start to live again, then we're happily divorced. That is a beautiful thing to say. So imagine us who all are going through this process. We find happiness and we're good. I'm happily divorced. Now, happily divorced doesn't mean we're shitting on the other person. I just want to say that, right? It doesn't mean that we're being negative about the other person. We're putting the person down. It doesn't mean that. What it means is, I don't know what you meant by it, but what it needs to mean in this context is I am happy with me post divorce.
Yes, amen, absolutely.
That's what it's supposed to mean. That's the impact result ROI on rebuilding your life.
Yes, yes,
And happy being a person who's happily divorced. I'm
yeah,
happy.
thank you, thank you, thank you for like reshifting that, because I am that. I am that. And for me to even say that, like I'm screaming in my living room, it's only me here. But yes, I am that. I
Yes.
am happily divorced, and to own it. Cause and there's some, and you know what, Tirza, you mentioned something even about like society and and religion or church or these expectations of all these other people, and then to see like, Stacy, you were the marriage pusher. I still love marriage.
Yeah.
Thank you, but you are the person who frowned upon divorce. Yes, and I still got divorced, and I'm happily divorced. And to say that with power and meaning feels so different in this moment. Actually, saying it out loud with that context, because I haven't done that in so long.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, because I'm gonna do a fucking happy divorce. I'm happily divorced dance today. Like, thank you.
The girl
I
said,
needed to let that out.
no.
Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all, for that word.
Oh, that's thank you for sharing. And I want to one more thing. You talked about your desire for co-parenting. And girl, I've been there, right? Like, I never imagined that me and my ex would not be effective co-parents. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? We have children and we want the best for them. And just like, I never imagined that that would occur. And it is a very bad situation. And it is a shock to me because why would we not work together for the well being of our kids? Right? It just doesn't make sense. So I've always had that desire, but I've also seen patterns of behavior, tendencies, patterns, and habits that tell me we may never get there. Now, anything is possible. God is good. We know all that. But I got to look at the facts too. And the facts say it's a long time coming. Thank God my children of the age where they can advocate for themselves now. See, that's how God has been working on my behalf. But in terms of the patterns, the tendencies and behaviors, nah. So what I am doing is accepting. Okay? I am not resisting. I accept what I see. I'm dealing with facts. And that's what we have to do sometimes. We have to deal with the facts in this particular situation. And the facts say it ain't looking really good right now. And so, am I going to keep fighting this? Or I'm going to let go and accept and get out the way and let God do what God do. And I can promise you, y'all, God has worked on my behalf in amazing ways. Things I couldn't even imagine. As a matter of fact, let me share this with y'all. The last time I probably was on here, which was probably a couple of years ago, I don't remember. I shared that I was estranged from my daughter. That's what I shared. Right now, my daughter is running around this house going to get her hair done in an hour. She's busy getting ready to run out the house to get her hair done. She's with me full time. She's in my care. She's back with her mother. All right? I couldn't have planned that. Let me tell you what I was planning. I guess I'll see her when she get married. That's what I was thinking in my head. But when you stop resisting, you let go, you accept what is, you live in the now, you get out of God's way, God will bless you. I ain't trying to sound churchy, okay? But you will be blessed. The universe will work in your favor. The universe is always working things out for your good. And so that's why I say let it go, stop resisting, analyze the facts sometimes, and then just get out the way. Get out the way.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I have to take just another breath. Y'all keep breathing now. Woo! It's so funny that you mentioned your daughter, because what the thought that I had the other day was of her. And I said, I remember when Tirza thought, I'll see her, I guess, when she get graduate high school, see her later. I had that thought just a couple of days ago. And that's what, when I was doing the vision and after, and I thought of that, gave me hope for my co-parenting and marriage. I said, God did it for her daughter. She's home and happy and smiling up with her mama. And guess what?
Underneath me.
And what'd you say?
Underneath me all the time.
Right, right. And it could be that in the future, and I'm praying for that. If it happens, great. If not, then it just doesn't. That could be the that me and my husband, me and Josh's Raven's dad, James. Like, that could be it. And guess what? That I am committed, but I'm not attached. So I have to continue to release attachment of how that shows up. So for me to be like, hey, I'm committed to it. So I do the work, the energy work, the praying, the visualizations, and keep my good vibes over here. And guess what? I'm not attached to when it shows up. It shows up next year, 10 years. guess what? That means that God is still doing the work that he needs to do for him. Could totally be not his time to be that right now because he got to do whatever he got to do on his end. And I ain't trying to rush that. So thank you again.
Thank you, sis. Love you.
Love you.
Hey.
All right, Tirza, I have a suggestion because Adam has been dropping shares in the chat and we haven't heard from a male today. Oh, yes, we did. We heard from Michael.
Yeah.
He is our
I would love
resident
to have Adam.
man.
Yeah.
Yes. So let me share, Adam, just as a reminder of the things you said. You said getting married in this era is getting scarier and scarier for most young men, including myself. And you asked the question, who and what am I feeding? I guess the question is for community too, feeding into this so-called relationship, marriage. So, Adam, are you willing to share? You have to unmute, brother.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good morning, Tirza. Good morning, Wool Nation. Good morning, Coach Shawnee. I wanted to, put this out into the universe because um I just, feel it. I just feel very discouraged these days about, getting married, especially as a young man. I mean, I'm 39 years old, will be 40 in March, but at the same time, I mean, from a male's perspective, I mean, a lot of young men are finding it very, very discouraging to, get married to a woman um, for because women have this ulterior motive that they want to take from a man financially and spiritually as well. A lot of women, for me, are getting into marriages for the wrong reasons, especially financially. It's all about what they can get from a man instead of staying the course and working out the marriage. That have this welfare mindset, you could say, when it comes to marriage from a monetary standpoint, and consequently, some of these men who are handling divorce like a Michael, or some of these men don't know how to cope with it to the point where they end up losing their mind, and vice versa. I mean, that's where I'm at this point,
Yeah. Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Woman taking from a man. So, the first question I'm thinking to ask you is where did you get that messaging from? Where did that message come from?
Oof. I mean, I'll say everywhere, pretty much, from men who went through it.
Okay. Is it
Um,
your truth? Is it your truth?
um, I feel like it could be potentially if
It will be if you keep talking and thinking like that.
right.
Energy, attraction. You are what you believe, you attract what you believe. So if you continue to recite that programming, it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that it's not happening, but it has nothing to do with you and your life. Why are you all up in the middle of that business? You create what you want and the life that you want and the woman that you want who's going to love you for you, not your money. Now, what you doing is taking the world's issues and you putting it on you. And now you creating a life that reflects social media. That's none of your business. You better watch out and protect yourself. You better change your story, change your language, because you will attract just that woman. And then you may find a woman who's just so juicy, so beautiful, love you so much. But you see her through the lens of this belief rather than for who she is. So, what that tells me, Adam, is that there's some rebuilding that you must do around your belief systems. There's some letting go that is required. There's some resistance you need to let go of. There's some freedom around your thinking that is necessary. And to start really pleasing yourself, please yourself with the vision of a beautiful, juicy, sexy, happy, long lasting relationship. With a beautiful, juicy, wonderful, compassionate, caring, supportive woman. So, my thoughts to you is change your story,
Hmm.
change your thinking, and stop picking up the lies of this world. Because there's a lot of lies out here, and you got to guard yourself. You
Yeah.
got to guard yourself. All right.
It's
Thank you.
lonely.
Change that story too. I feel you. And it's not that I'm not being empathetic, right? Like, I ain't got time. I don't got a lot of time. So I'm gonna get it to you. I feel you when you say you're lonely, but this idea of alone and lonely, that's about, it's almost like what Brother Michael was saying around, being comfortable being with yourself. Okay. And if you start to change the story, you will find that you will embrace the idea of lonely differently, possibly.
Sure.
So I want you to love on yourself. I want you to love on yourself and know you're worthy of exactly what you want. And that's what we're really talking about. You're worthy
Sure.
of a very healthy, fruitful relationship.
Thanks a lot, Tirza.
Yeah, thank you for receiving and
You're
listening.
welcome.
All righty. Powerful stuff. So Nigel said, I'm enjoying this focused time with and on myself.
Yeah,
So Nigel, you want to come and share more about that? Because we want to hear about that just as much as the
that,
things that we're challenged by.
that looked like.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, lovely.
I dropped that in the chat because I no longer say that I'm lonely and I am single, and I've been single by choice for a number of years. Um, and so I realize that I'm single and I'm usually by myself, but I am enjoying this time with myself. I'm enjoying this time as I work on myself. And so, you talk about changing the story. I don't say that I am lonely because I am single. I'm enjoying this time with myself. And when the time is right, when I attract the partner that is out there for me, then I will have time for him. But in the meantime, me, myself, and I are having a good old time with ourselves.
Yeah. You are in relationship with yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I hear. Yes. And when you attract that person, you are going to set an example for how you should be treated. And you're working on all those gaps, all those things, maybe boundaries, whatever it is that you need to work on for you so that when that person comes, you are ready because you've learned to love yourself and enjoy yourself. So good. I love it.
All righty. Thank you, Nigel. I wanted to share something about myself really quickly and then invite others to jump on and share in the final minutes that we have. So I don't call myself single. One of the things that I'm so grateful for, and I'm not partnered, I don't have an intimate partner right now, and I haven't been involved with someone in relationship since 2020 by choice. And what I say is I'm unpartnered. I don't have a partner as far as that, but I'm not single. Like I have so many intimate relationships. Tears a year, one of them. We don't talk a lot, but when we come together, it's intimate. I remember when we went to lunch, just the level of heart connection and deep and authentic sharing. You are my practice for my partner. And so I just want to offer up that is to me, it's very white and patriarchal. Like we're part of community and deep connections. And I get when you don't have someone that is your boo, but I'm like, what I am doing is preparing myself for being partnered through being in community with Adam, with Sam, with Baba Koja, with Baba Onaje, like being intimate with men without being in relationship with them like that, being intimate with women or however folks identify, holding them literally, talking with them about what the real is and not pretending, sharing my story with folks because that practice and muscle building will prepare me for what's to come. So that's just where I'm at in reference to my own journey because I sometimes go into, I'm lonely, I don't have anybody. That happens. I'm sad about it. And then I remember like all of the juiciness, because I love that word too, in this community and how it's preparing me to have a sustainable, healthy relationship with a man when he comes, because he's coming and I'm complete.
Thank you. That's good, Shawnee.
Yeah. It took a minute to get there though.
Yeah, it's a journey. It is not an overnight process. That's so true. So true.
Yeah, thank you. So I see that Sweetness has her hand up and then also Mama Latifa.
All right.
Grand Rising, peace and blessings. I'm gonna keep growing up and living and look as beautiful as you. Tirza. I like your energy. Thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you, Shawnee, for pointing that out. And what I've been doing is learning how to have healthy relationships, and boundaries are important in that. And then I too am practicing with the sisters on the Wake Up Everybody, being to them what I want them to be to me, right? Learning how to be patient. Not everybody has my energy. Some people um, deal with depression. So how do I love on them and be compassionate with them? Because that's what I want people to be with me. I want them to be patient with me. Part of my story is that as I grew up, I was very I was set apart basically, and I get that from what I remember my family members saying to me. Yes, and so I took that on, and then probably lived into it. But that's not my true self. So I know how I want people to be with me, and it's to be patient with me and give me grace. So that's what I'm doing with the people in this community and other communities that I create for myself. You kept saying that earlier, Tizer, that we can create our happiness. I've experienced divorce. I am now under the umbrella of widow. So I know loss, I know grief, and I know transformation, right? Coming to know who I am. And I put in the chat community that sometimes I offer to others who I don't even know, right? I know myself as a widow? Who am I? I didn't really know who I was other than being my husband's wife. And that was good and delicious for the most part. It was. I loved it. Then who am I? Am I offering who I don't even know to someone else? So I'm paying attention to that part of connecting with somebody because I connected physically deeply with somebody. And then I had to question, like, who is that person? And really, who are you?
Yeah.
I asked them, what are you offering me? Oh, and I freaked them out when I asked them that. And I was like, okay, maybe I done messed up. I'm messed up now. But the truth of the matter is, I have to know who I am, Shawnee, in order to send the energy out to attract that which I desire. And not just desire, but am worthy of. And with that, I'm complete.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, so much richness. And we have three hands up. Tears. The first be like 30 minutes left, and now it's 8:29, and we have
It was
folks that have
all
a
planned. It was all planned, Shawnee. I was making room for everybody else.
yeah, yes, yes. And Mama Latifah is next, and then Veronica. I gotta sneeze. Go ahead, Mama Latifah.
Peace and blessings. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sister, for bringing this topic to us. It has opened up, and I guess, we take time to speak. Well, for me, I took time to speak because I've got really into what you're saying and what everybody is sharing. Brother Michael, Brother Adam, thank you for sharing. We don't have to guess what the brothers are saying. You've given us the truth from your perspective of how a male speaks. Thank you, all of the sisters who've shared. I went through a divorce. My gosh, my children were young then. My oldest son will be 60 next year, and my oldest daughter will be 55. Then I went through in 2020 the loss of my husband, my second husband, through death. And between that time, what helped me and what's helping me now is dance. Music and dance helps me. And I've gotten into writing more. I've gotten into doing more. And it took a while for me to get into these things that lifted me, I guess, because I don't remember what I was doing when I divorced my husband. I remembered I had two children I had to take care of. And I had myself that I had to take care of so I could take care of those children. So, sister, when you say that, it was so true for me. And then when I lost my husband, who I knew for a while before we got married, I was ready to meet him. He was ready to meet me, as you said. So I say, Ashe, that is the truth for me. And sisters who are going through this period of loss or this period of finding, and when you, I can say from my experience, when you find yourself, that true one will find you and you will find him or her. Just keep growing and becoming the person you were created to be. Do what you love to do. First, find out what you love to do and do it. And as an 81-year-old, I'm still enjoying life. I am growing every day and I can get down and boogie, honey. Don't y'all
Woo!
think I'm doing it because you're younger than me. Oh, no. And I could be out there with my head shaking as we blacks know how to do it and give the eye when we're not uh, accepting what you said, and I still do all of that. And my children are enjoying me more than ever. My youngest one, who Harold and I had, she's 42. And so I have a span of, and my children at first, when I got divorced, um, and the oldest daughter is doing that, think that they need to protect me, and I'm in loving it. They want to drive me places and take me to eat. And Ma, no, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm loving it. And I believe that that divorce helped them to get to where they are when they saw how I was handling it. And
Yes,
guess what?
yes.
My former husband now writes me and say, "How you doing? I'm just checking to make certain you're all right." And I say, "Ah, Shay, we know the same people and we would see the same people." I never thought he would be writing me, asking me. I never changed my number. He never changed his number. Oh, well, gosh, I could be telling you how much, but we got time. So
Yeah,
thank
but
you
I
so much.
just want to bring, full closure to a key piece that the energy that you're sending out is the pleasure piece. Pleasure. You have tapped into pleasure. You're loving life,
Life,
enjoying
enjoying
life.
life.
And
And
so thank you for that. Thank you for being the example for the community. I gave that as a tip, but to hear someone reinforce that tip with some examples is so beautiful. Thank you, because it's inspiring to me. So keep living, keep dancing, keep celebrating life, and you never know what's going to unfold in the future. Now your ex-husband is in contact with you. We never know how life is going to unfold. Like Stacy said, don't be attached to anything because you just don't know how things are going to unfold. So thank you for sharing, sis. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So I'm going
Thank
to do a time
you.
check. Oh, sorry. She acknowledged your thanks, Tirza. So we have a time check, 8:33. So you tell us where you want to go because this conversation, the tail end, has activated all of these shares. And so we have four people. Are you open to hearing from
Yeah,
everybody? Is there a
yeah,
way you
let's
want
hear
them to
from a
come in?
few more, Sharni. I'll give it to
Okay.
you.
All
Select it.
right. Awesome. And just asking everybody to share with velocity so we can get everybody in.
Does that
So
mean concisely?
yeah.
Let's take that.
Speed conciseness. Yeah, that's the term we use here, but everybody's not familiar.
I haven't been on
Speed.
that in a while. I got to pick up the new
Yeah,
term.
yeah, it's all good. It's not new, but it's definitely a term we've used here, and everybody's not familiar. So speed and conciseness. So thank you. So Veronica, you're up next, and Sam.
Tirsa, thank you. So the three words that I got today was relationship, marriage, divorce, and as I'm a 70-year-old, and I'm going to do this very concisely, I was married at 16, going on 17. It lasted 2 years. I then was in a relationship and marriage for 46 years. I'm 4 years a widow. And in all those years since I was 16, I've never lived alone.
Wow.
And these 4 years have been amazing. And it's not because I have not lived my life in the 46 years. I've always had things to do, books to read, planes to get on, even though my husband didn't want to do any of those things, but I didn't deny myself anything. And that is what has saved my life.
Yeah.
is that in his transitioning to become an ancestor, I continue to do the things that I always did. And what's the icing on the cake for me is the 4 years of solitude. I did not have to wash, clean, cook for anybody else but myself. And that's what I wish for people that are in relationships and in marriages, that they understand that sometimes they need to release and let go and be away from their significant others, even their children, because it's a blessing in silence.
Yeah. Mm.
And I am so joyful. I had 46 years with somebody who had nothing in common with me. And I really want you to do a study, please, Tirza, on communities where there are single women and maybe a couple married relationships. And people look up to those married couples, but they don't know what's going on behind the closed door.
Ooh. Ooh.
And we want to be like them. We
Yeah.
want to be married. Um, Adam, we want what we perceive to be ideal.
Mm.
But if we're not in relationship with ourselves, we're living a hell for 46 years, 50 years, 20 years, 15 years. And then when finally the big D word comes, we still don't know how to live alone by ourselves, Michael.
Mm. Wow. Thank you for
And
that.
I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you for
I
that.
hope I was concise.
You did great.
Very clear. Awesome. All righty. Sam is up next. Go ahead, brother. You there? We can't hear you. There
I
you
just
go.
want to. I was. Can Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Um, I just wanted to kind of bridge a little bit from what you said, Shawnee, in terms of the value of friendships and the value of intimate friendships. That, and this is again maybe also maybe a message for Brother Adam. That for me, I have found that same value, Sean, in terms of my intimate relationships with my sisters. And so, brother Adam, maybe it may be something to look into if you're already not doing it, to look to cultivate these types of friendships with sisters, to cultivate love and friendships with sisters that are not intimately all think. And also, my sisters also are there always to they guide me, they check me if I need to be checked. They kind of help me see things that, again, I realize as a guy, as a man, I see things from a different perspective. And sometimes they bring that flavor to it that I don't always naturally have. And then too, just in terms of life, just the joy of being intimate with people, without necessarily having it to be sexual there's a joy to that. And so I would offer that to everyone who may find themselves single that we don't have to be single. There's a community of people out there that we can bond with and we can unite with and we can spend time with and just grow and enjoy life with. All right. And that's my contribution.
That was beautiful, Sam. Thank you for that. Thank you,
You're
brother.
welcome.
Bringing that
You're
light to
welcome.
the conversation.
All right. Winding down, we have
I just say
beloved.
I appreciate an emotional, intelligent man. Thank you.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Amen.
make me want to flip my hair. Shoo. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
Yes. Go ahead, Coach Rashida, you're up.
I got to come back on because I hearing a lot of tips that I utilize, but that also I would say is in my whole spectrum of consciousness is how much we also need to ask for forgiveness of stuff that we have done to ourselves, not to others. We're talking about self right now. Let's start to go in consciousness and ask for that forgiveness of the body, the mind, the spirit. Because once we started to go into that forgiveness mode, there is something shift in the consciousness of each individual. And Adam, Shawnee, but listen, it's so much stuff I get away that I started to, oh my goodness, my head is hurting, but for good things.
Thank you, Coach. We
So
appreciate you.
thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in February. Thank you so
Ah,
much, my dear sister. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
thank you. Full of joy. I love it.
So I'm gonna suggest that Sweetness, you put your share in the chat. Oh, I see you already removed your hand. So I know you wrapped up earlier when we were at the 8 o'clock hour, but there's another space for wrapping up based on what we've experienced over the last 30 minutes. So anything you want to share in closing, sis?
Wow. Yeah, just again, thank you for being present to this conversation. It takes courage as a speaker facilitator. I've been speaking and training and coaching for over 25 years, but to make a decision that this is something that I am going to do to help particularly women who are navigating divorce is wasn't an easy decision because it means putting my life on the spotlight, but I mean, I'm cool with that, right? But still, everybody, other people are involved. So to be able to come here and share with you all and to share my journey and to share my experiences with you in a safe space is so appreciative. Thank you so much. It gives me the courage to continue to do this work. I appreciate you all. I love the way this conversation unfolded in terms of divorce and separation to relationships in general. This is a hot topic, baby. This is a hot topic. So I'm definitely going to come back and we're going to continue the journey. Be in touch with me. Follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I would love to hear from you and connect. And there's so much more to come. I have different things that I want to offer you and share with you if you're in a space where you can do some rebuilding in your life. So to be continued, and Happy New Year.
Very beautiful. Thank you. So let's share. Oop, let me move this. We're going to share your contact information on screen so folks can screenshot it and then also in the thread again so folks can access it directly. So here are all the ways to be in touch with Tirza. And once again, emphasis on the pronunciation, Tirza. Such a powerful and beautiful name. And such a powerful and beautiful being. So the contact information, once again, is here. Screenshot it and then access the links in the chat on Facebook and on Zoom so that you can be in touch. Email her, follow her on Facebook and Instagram, follow her on LinkedIn, all the places and spaces where you can have access to her amazing offerings. And family, here we are again talking about what we receive from this space. There's so much. And for those of us who have been on this journey since 2020, we have forgotten more than we remember that we have learned and received in this space. And I can say that definitively because it's been so many years. I know that I've forgotten things I've facilitated or others have facilitated. And I'm going back and looked, I'm like, oh, yeah. So this space is a gift that keeps on giving 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, whether it rain or shine, holiday or no holiday, like we're up in here. Gina just facilitated on Christmas Day, and someone will facilitate on New Year's Day. So let's give, especially as we close out the year. If you have not given in the Wake Up Everybody space, some people have never given monetarily ever, right? And maybe you don't have it, but some of us do and we just don't for whatever reason. If you have given and it's been a long time, or if you give regularly and it's like, oh, today I want to give this gift to Wake Up, please do, because it supports the infrastructure. We're going to be here no matter what, but being here with the additional support is a blessing. And in this space, a reminder, since 2020 we have been saying money is an acronym. It stands for my own natural energy yield, my own natural energy yield. And this message is for anybody who admins or does anything for Wake Up and facilitate. Yes, that's your offering. And sometimes what Spirit is asking for is a different type of offering. And money is energy. And you invest in this space, and it will open up something for folks to invest in what you're doing monetarily, and then also for abundance to flow monetarily in your life, which is energy. Once again, my own natural energy yield. Please share it. And you can do that by Zelle Quick Pay, so leadership development at gmail.com, Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman. Use the code hashtag 1533 TB for Tirza Barnes. And that's been dropped in the chat. The other option is to consider 2026 as a year of giving consistently. And you can do that. And there are many folks in this space that do this, to give a love offering steadily on a monthly basis. And some people do it independent of these links. And we thank you for your giving. And then also others have set this up and created it so that they will remember or don't have to remember to do it. So monthly love offerings, these are the options. And if you want to do a different increment, it could be $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. You can do that. And it all goes to infrastructure, not individuals. Infrastructure, not individuals. And who's up next? We just heard his amazing voice, our emotionally intelligent brother, Sam Adewume, and we want to hear from you Wednesday, tomorrow. Hear from you, meaning as witnesses and participants, and hear from him inside of this conversation about breath, stretch, flow, and manifest into 2026. I will be there, Sam. I'm not admitting, I don't think, but I'll definitely be there because I need to stretch and breathe and flow along with you in preparation for what's to come. And then the next day, on New Year's Day, we have vision boards, affirmations, manifestations, how they work together. And our beloved LaWanda Banks is devoting time on the first day of 2026 to be with us in this way. And vision is alive. So let's do this. So we're going to stretch, and then we're going to vision about our future and affirm and manifest. And then Woo Nation welcomes all new members. So if you're new to the space, welcome, welcome. If you've been here for a minute, welcome back, keep coming. We're here to learn, elevate, and ascend, and we are doing that in co-creation with all of you. And for 2026, I'm going to be asking you, texting you, reaching out to you, so will the team, about bringing new people into this space. Let's not be stingy. We are in here, we're like, I'm here, but who else would benefit from being here? Who are you telling about the Wake Up Everybody virtual community? 2026 is a year for growth. And so let's make sure that we are intentionally doing that together. It's a number 10, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 + 4 + 6 is 10, which equals 1. And I'm a 1 person. I'm born in October. I'm born on the 1st of October. 1 is powerful. So let us be 1 in unity and manifestation. Let's activate Ubuntu. I am here. I am who I am because of you being who you are. And a person is a person because of other people. So let's invite others to be in this personhood with us. So the schedule: Sunday through Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 90 minutes, just like today, and Monday and Wednesday, 30 minutes. And every day starts at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we want to make sure that we remember that. And if you want to be reminded, 74121 is the number that we use to add you to the automated texting. And if you send a text with Woo Nation in all caps, you'll be added to the morning reminders. And if you want to stop it at any time, just type in stop, send it to the same number, and it'll be stopped. I always say, don't complain and be mad because we're sending the message to you. We want to invite you into the party, but if you want to stop it, just type stop and let that happen so that we can move on without resentment and stories and all that other stuff. So thank you. Stay in touch, literally and figuratively. Meet up, y'all, if you live in the same area and vicinity. I love how Wake Up folks visit each other in different states and are loving on each other. And we love each other whether we've met each other in person or not. I love that too. So here are all the links for us to stay in touch. Register so that you can receive weekly e-blasts about who's up next. Join us on our 2 Facebook pages, private and public. Follow us on Instagram as we prepare to utilize it differently and more intentionally. Subscribe today for YouTube so that we can have more of an active presence on YouTube. We have hundreds of videos, and we'll be adding hundreds more over this almost 6-year period. And then email us if you have testimony, ideas for facilitation, ideas for titles or themes. And if you want to volunteer as an admin, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. All right, that's all the announcements. Y'all stay on because we need to celebrate Tirza for all that she has brought us today. So let me take this down, and I'm going to invite you to do the love shower, which is unique to this amazing space. So please love on Tirza.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tirza.
Thank you,
Bestie.
It
Lord.
was
Thank you, thank you, thank
wonderful.
you,
Thank
thank
Wonderful
you.
you.
God bless
conversation.
you.
Everyone.
Wonderful day.
Wonderful
Love
listening.
you.
Good.
So good to see you. So good to be back
Bye
with
bye,
you.
Guiding
Thank you.
family.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Love
Love
you
you.
Work you've
all.
done that
For
you
your
shared.
family.
Thank
Knowledge.
you.
Thank you for
Love
your
you. We
love. Thank you for
appreciate
holding
all of you.
space and
Thank
God
allowing
you.
us
bless
to
and
hold
more.
space
More
for
juicy,
you.
juicy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Juicy people for everybody. You get juicy man. You get juicy lady.
Yes, we
Woo!
claim juiciness all.
Thanks, y'all. I'm gonna continue to feed myself.
Yes.
Right. See
I'm
yourself.
worthy.
Good
I'm
thoughts. We
worthy.
thank you, Tirza. Thank you,
Thank
everything.
you.
I'm worthy.
Love y'all.
Let's continue to move forward, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Love you, love you, Adam. Take care,
Love
honey.
you more.
Yeah.
New year, new day.
Take a nice get some oregano oil for them sniffles, y'all. All right, I'll hear y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,